That'll do it. I'm ERIKAS NAVICKAS. I'm a Pro 2 driver at IDC. I'm from Lithuania originally, been living in Naas most of my life. I drive a BMW E46 330ci that I've strapped the turbo onto. We're just off the N7 in my shed basically, where I build E46s for people and myself and just kind of break them for parts and stuff. It's always been drifting for me. I don't know why. It's just, I suppose when I was younger I was more so into motorbikes, but then kind of playing video games and stuff like that, I got into doing up cars than, you know, drifting and stuff like that. So it has always been drifting. I would like to try a bit of circuit racing as well, because I feel like I'd be fairly okay at it. Well, my first car was a Volkswagen Bora, and then about 7 months later I swapped it for a 316i, and ever since then it's basically been E46s. I started in December 2019. That was the first time I actually went out to a drift track. It was fine. I mean, my car, it was a completely standard, this car, 330ci, that just had a welded diff in it. I went out and yeah, after that I started doing it up a bit more, realised I need more things to do to it, and yeah, it was great crack for the first time ever. I think my first crash I mounted 3 tractor tyres with it, and then after that obviously we didn't drive it back because it didn't look like a road car anymore, so we had to tow it back. But yeah, it was a lot better and safer than roundabouts. The likes of BMWs and S chassis and stuff like that, they're known cars to win championships and stuff like that. There's a lot of accessibility for parts for them, and you know, a lot of people make parts available to actually buy and modify them to allow them to do the drifting properly. BMW is probably the cheaper route of doing it. Anyone that's kind of been in drifting for longer will more than likely have a Japanese car. That's one thing I said, I'm going to stick to my E46. Well, it might not stay this chassis because it's pretty beat up at the minute, but it'll always be an E46 with me. It's what I was able to afford when I was 17, and I liked it. I still like it. It feels like a new enough car. It looks like a new enough car, even though it's, you know, pushing for 20, 25 years old. So I hadn't competed until last year. Last year I started competing by going over to Scotland, doing a KD Customs Winter Battle Series, it was called. I went in as a rookie. It was a 3-round kind of off-season, so throughout the winter, three-round championship. I went over as a rookie, first time ever competing, and I ended up actually winning the thing as a rookie. So after that I decided, okay, I guess I might be good enough to do IDC. So when I came back, I got everything kind of set up on the car, everything ready. There was a good few bits that I needed to change on the car, but even as I was going along, because I have a few friends that have been on IDC and stuff like that, I've already been asking them for what is the correct way of doing it. So I almost had my car up to spec before I started competing. It's kind of my escape, I suppose. Like a lot of other guys, you just have so much fun. Like, you spend weeks and weeks getting the car ready, and then just that one day of drifting or 2 days of drifting just kind of makes it all worth it. I don't know what it is. I suppose the love for cars, love for doing it. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it without the guys that help me out, even in the shed, outside the shed, at the track days, you know. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. When it comes to competing, you can't do it. Well, I suppose you could do it by yourself, but it'd be very, very hard. We always need a spotter. So a spotter is basically your eyes off the track, looking on the outside to tell you how you're doing. And then you have, you know, guys that are helping you change tyres, set your pressures on the tyres, fix the body kit, you name it. Like, there's, you know, I'm lucky enough to have a little brother who's interested in it, who, you know, is always there with me. He always comes out to every single event I do, and I have a good few friends that are willing to help out as well. So I'm delighted to have, you know, I suppose I can say my team, because they're always there to help me out. So I'm delighted with that. Dan's only there sometimes. We have group chats and obviously a few Irish drifting community Facebook pages and stuff like that. So if you need something, you post it up and you will find at least 5 people that will be offering you the part. It actually happened to me at the last round. I had a fuel pump fail on my car, and I posted it in the Irish drifting community, and I think within 10 minutes I had 4 different guys that were already there offering either their fuel pumps out of their car. Other people had new fuel pumps there. Just someone actually came up and said, any parts you need from the car, just take them from mine. I didn't qualify anyways. Whatever fits, take it, it's fine. When it comes to drifting, like, I don't think there's anyone that's actually enemies. If you're all kind of at the pits, you're all gonna get along basically. Oh, ego-driven drifting. That is something that Dan has created, and he basically said, you're part of our team. No, it's just a bunch of us. We always kind of drive together and stuff like that, the likes of bashes, invitationals and stuff like that, and just seeing other teams that are about, like cool cars and stuff like that, and ego-driven, I suppose. We all have Beamers. They all started off as shit boxes, and we're kind of trying to make them cool as well. So I suppose eventually, I hope, we all have a bit of style in them. I've kind of got there already with my Jap kit and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm just waiting for the rest of them to catch up now. Future plans for this car, I suppose, at the end of this season is to just keep it as a kind of practice car. My suggestion to people, I suppose, is do a few track days. When you feel confident enough, maybe join a smaller competition and then try joining the bigger competition. I don't know. I really don't know. It's something that I love doing, and if you're doing it on, like, you're not supposed to be doing it on the roads. If you're doing it on the roads, you know, you can get into a lot of trouble. So track days is kind of where you go to then, and it's so much more entertaining to do it on a track than the likes of roundabouts. Oh, it's worth it because you know, the friends you make, they're not just going to be friends that you make at the track. You're not only going to stay friends at the track, you'll end up being friends outside of drifting as well, and you get to meet a lot of new people. It's kind of it's a good escape as well from your basic everyday day-to-day thing, kind of work and stuff like that. I think it's worth it because you get to have a lot of fun. That's what I see in it. It's fun for me. It's a lot of fun.
That's actually a brilliant way to end the interview, man. Genuine. That was excellent. Okay. Right, let's go. We're going to go this. On the roundabouts!
You've got to stick it back up to you. It's almost, oh, look at this. What a beautiful entry there. That was one for the photographers there, that's for sure.